Hello, I'm Chris Barron and I'm the Chair of the Connected Coast, and it's my pleasure to bring you the 2024 Skegness Annual Report. I thought it would be useful, before we go into what's happened in 2024, is just to remind everybody about the case for the investment. In 2021, it was announced that Skegness would receive £24.5 million in government funding through the Towns Fund. The aim of the programme was to regenerate towns and support long-term economic growth, and Skegness had particular needs for this fund. If you look at just some of the facts, 3 in 10 people are over 65. Tourism-related jobs, while very important, are 4 times the national average. We have 4 million visitors coming to Skegness every year. But that disguises some of the facts, like 90% of Skegness is in the top 20 most deprived towns in England for unemployment. Skegness is in the lowest 10% for the most deprived for education, skills and training, and an average salary of £100 below the national average. 42% of our population are economically inactive. So we really needed this funding, and hopefully we are making best use of it. As you can see from the map, this is the area that is covered by this funding. And we set out very clear aims of what we wanted to do. We wanted to improve skills and support a learning, enterprising, connected, healthy and resilient Skegness. We want Skegness to thrive now and into the future for all who live, visit, work and spend time in our town. We also see ourselves as a lobbying group to ensure central government are aware that a one-off investment will not solve all of our challenges. As you can see, we have the total support of our MP, East Lindsey District Council, Skegness Town Council, and that is very important. But most important is that the Connected Coast Board is led by the private sector, and consultation with our residents has driven our agenda. Why do we call ourselves the Connected Coast? Because Mablethorpe was also successful and received £23.9 million of town funds. We wanted to stop duplication of projects, and we wanted to ensure we had the strongest board possible, with the maximum gain being made from any opportunity that could be driven from this funding. We always knew that attracting the town fund allocation was important, but just as importantly it was to ensure that partners were going to be part of our projects. And as you can see from the slide here, we've attracted approximately £15 million of matched funding from partners, which shows that we selected projects with a demand for them. It's also worth noting that we attracted more funding than towns over 10 times our size, for example Bournemouth, Milton Keynes or Middlesbrough, showing how necessary the investment is in our area. Just to highlight some of the landmarks we've achieved since our last presentation, in December 23, land was purchased for Skegness Learning Campus, our most important project. In March 24, we had a community planting day at the Tower Gardens, making sure the community is involved in our projects wherever they can be. In May, we saw the improvements completed at Tower Gardens, creating a major transformation for this area. Particularly exciting in July was to see the start of the construction of our Skegness Learning Campus. In August 24, our first major high street project was completed with the complete overhaul of the Allison's department store and setting an example of what can be done on our high streets. September 24 saw planning permission granted for the improvements to the Embassy Centre as part of our Cultural Skegness project. And in September, work began at the Embassy Theatre. October 24, planning permission was granted for works to Alford Manor House. The first project I want to highlight is the Skegness Learning Campus, the single most important project for Skegness. East Lindsey has the second highest proportion of 16 to 18-year-olds living more than 30 minutes from an FE college. If we want to grow aspirations in our town, we need the right foundations, and this will be a significant step forward for the area. This project, supported by £14 million of town funds money, is located on Wainfleet Road, Skegness, a great shop window for everybody who's looking to improve their skills. It will offer vocational courses to meet the needs of local people and, just as importantly, local businesses. Work began here in April 2024, and hopefully most of you've seen what a stunning building it's going to be. This 2-storey building will offer flexible learning space and is expected to be open for students in September 25. When we talk about first or last impressions for our town, the railway station certainly did not reflect a modern seaside resort or a place that was proud of itself. So I was particularly pleased that we were able to secure £2.9 million to help bring the railway station, and in fact the whole interchange facility there, into the 21st century. This investment will secure extensive refurbishment, including repairs to existing station buildings and construction of new facilities. Work will see a new community cafe, retail units, meeting rooms, and I'm particularly pleased to say a changing places toilet, because it is important that we make our facilities accessible for all. Work on this project is expected to be nearly complete in spring 25, resulting in a new station experience and opportunities for use for all. Another area of our funding was town centre transformation, where we wanted to set example on High Street and Lumley Road of what shop fronts should look like and again reflect a 21st century seaside resort. We also had created some money for public realm, for example the Tower Gardens, signage, which will all create a great impression from our railway station right through to the foreshore. One of our first public realm projects was the work on the Tower Gardens, thanks to the support of Skegness Town Council. And it was great to see the community coming together, not only in the consultation of what we wanted to achieve there, but also helping with community planting days, etc. And hopefully this work can continue. Grants are still available and can be accessed by emailing towndeals@heritagelincolnshire.org. And we spent approximately £2.7 million of this, with more work going on this summer. Work on the Embassy Theatre started in September 24 to create the first culture house in Britain, a Scandinavian idea that has been very successful there. This will make the Embassy Theatre a hub for our local community and not just be a building that is open 2 to 3 hours in the evening. This is also an example of how success breeds success, as having the vision and securing the funding for this project has attracted a lot of interest from the Arts Council, and along with that, a further £5 million for the Skegness foreshore and the Embassy. We were also able to ensure that this building had a changing places toilet as well, so again helping accessibility for all along the coast. Here you can see a few more photos of how the project is coming on, and it's great to see that the whole team of Magna Vitae are totally supportive of this very important project, and I really look forward to this coming to fruition early in the summer this year. For many years we've known that the South Foreshore in Skegness has needed investment and a reason for people to look at investing down there. So I was particularly pleased that we were able to ensure that the Travelodge and Starbucks project would go ahead, because this starts to open up this whole area. We are still in discussions with other interested parties, opportunities in this area, but it was so important to get this first project completed just to show what could be achieved. I also think it's great to have a second national hotel brand, which will help to attract conference business, which will help extend our season alongside the Embassy project. As part of this funding in the very near future, we will also see the demolition of the chalets to the north of the pier and work commence between the pier and the fairground to create some new attractions in this area. 2 of our projects have already been completed. The Arthur Troop Training and Conference Centre, which opened in 2021, is the only police training centre in the whole county outside of Netlham. And this will hopefully encourage more police officers to consider working on the coast. 2 further benefits of this project was that it secured the probation service within the town that ensured jobs stayed here, but it also created breakout rooms when we look to extend our conference season, because having one main venue is not just what conference organisers will be looking for. The other project that has already been completed is the multi-user trail, true connectivity in its simplest form, connecting Trunch Lane with Anchor Lane and providing a safe route for people to be able to bike and walk between these 2 areas. This opened in 2023 and is a 1-mile route between Chapel St Leonard's and Ingermells, and it certainly makes travelling between the 2 far safer. It joins up with other paths as well to create a circular route and create safe travel along the route next to the A52. Because of the success of the way the town's funds deal has been invested in Skegness, we were able to announce that a further £20 million had been secured over 10 years in a project called the Long-Term Plan for Town Funding. Regrettably, this was put on hold as government changed, but I'm very pleased to be able to say that as of yesterday, it was announced that we will now have a project called Plan for Neighbourhood with very similar funding, and as more information becomes available on this, we will let you know. But again, some more exciting investment going into our town. When the original funding was announced, we undertook considerable consultation to understand people's views and ideas for Skegness. This consultation took place to shape how the long-term plan for town's funding will be spent in the town, and we will use a lot of this information to form the plans for the new investment. People think the best thing about Skegness is the beach. They want a better town experience. There is a strong desire for a cleaner, tidier and smarter Skegness. People would like to be able to enjoy Skegness safely and securely, and they'll also like more things to do for residents and local visitors. And these are all on our agenda to see what we can do to achieve these aims. We will continue to speak to people and share their views. Hopefully you would like to be kept informed and be involved in the consultation. And if so, please email us at the address shown. When we set up the Connected Coast, we never thought it was only going to be about the town fund, and we always thought additional funding would come along if we proved ourselves successful. And this has certainly proved to be the case with UK Shared Prosperity funding, which has delivered another £6.1 million worth of funding into East Lindsey. And we've used this for events and activities, volunteering, community facilities, tourism, local businesses, and very importantly, people and skills. We are very pleased that this project has been extended for a further year and should attract another £2 million worth of funding. Just to give you some idea of how this funding has helped, when we look at UK Shared Prosperity funding, 154 organisations have received grants, 178 local events or community activities, 87 community facilities created or renovated, 743 residents currently or have completed courses funded through this fund, and this programme is likely to deliver at least a further 750 places by the end of March. 111 residents trained to become software developers and in digital/AI. Business grants have been granted to help businesses to grow to 653 businesses. And by the end of the UK SPF programme, 9% of the local business growth would have received technical growth advice or a grant from UK SPF. Another source of funding that we had was the Culture and Heritage programme, over £8 million. And the Connected Coast is not just dealing directly with the coast, but also projects just inland, which help to make this whole area a better place to live and also to visit. The 3 projects that were agreed was the Alford Windmill, the Alford Manor House and the Spilsby Sessions House. Regrettably, since the funding has been granted and more investigation has been done on the Alford Windmill and the structural issues involved, we've had to suspend this project for now and moved that funding to the Alford Manor House to ensure we can achieve all our aims there. We will continue to look at what we can do to bring the Alford Windmill back to life in the future. The Alford Sessions House is moving forward with inspections of the ceiling and the roof void, bat surveys taking place, and an understanding of what is required to deliver and bring back to life this beautiful building. Just to give you a bit more information about these 2 buildings if you aren't currently aware of them, the Alford Manor House is the largest thatched manor house in the country. Unbelievably that we have that so local. It was built in 1611 and it's been awarded £2.1 million of government funding to deliver event space, new kitchen, solar energy, machinery store, workshop and ground renovations. Spilsby Sessions House, as I say, a beautiful building when you drive past it, is also a listed building, previously used as a jail, and has been awarded a £4.9 million government fund to bring back it into full repair, make it accessible, meeting facilities, cafe and bar, office workspace, and most importantly, a theatre that the local community can use and enjoy. As I said at the outset, we are looking at the Connected Coast, and so it's not just about Skegness, but Mablethorpe and Sutton have also had important projects under the Town Fund banner, and I thought it would be useful just to bring you up to date with what's happening there. If you haven't been to Sutton recently, I would recommend it. The Seaview Colonnade building is coming on exceptionally well and is an exemplar of what a modern building should look like. It will open in the summer 25 with not only a cafe and bar, but also an important part of the cultural aspects of Sutton as well. Sandylands is a 62 acres of wetland nature reserve being curated by National Trust. It will also have a visitor centre and again a changing places toilet to create a new facility and a new tourism attraction for the coast. Mablethorpe is also seeing significant funding in its high street and will be well worth a visit this summer, as you could see what will happen to some of the main shop fronts on the high street there, and is an example of what can be achieved. Negotiations for the delivery of the Moby Hub in Mablethorpe are also moving along very well, and we hope to make an announcement on this imminently, and work can commence very soon. 2 projects in Mablethorpe have now been completed. The first, the Campus for Future Living, which is an exemplar nationally of what can be done for rural and coastal health initiatives. And I'm very pleased that a contract has now been signed with ACIS to deliver this, and it will open in spring 2025. The Station Leisure and Learning Centre has been a tremendous success in Mablethorpe. 4-lane swimming pool, a cutting-edge fitness suite. It's already having a significant impact on health benefits and visitor numbers. As I've said previously, I am very excited about what's going to happen in 2025 as all these projects open up, and we are seeing more investment over a relatively short period of time than I can remember in my lifetime. This will hopefully give the whole community a sense of confidence that we can change things, and with your support and ideas we can go from strength to strength. We're also seeing hidden benefits that we probably didn't envisage at the start. For example, we now have many changing places toilets across the coast, which means that an area of the community that we've never served that well can now benefit from visiting Skegness and the coast. Electric car charging points are being put in at most of our projects. We're also seeing additions to the electricity supply, for example at the railway station putting in a new substation and creating over 300 kVA of spare capacity. All these are additional benefits that will help our town to grow and prosper. But it is so important that the whole community gets involved and helps shape Skegness' future. So any ideas and thoughts that you have, please let us know. In addition to all the funding I've already mentioned, East Lindsey District Council has announced an ambitious £10 million fund for investment in the local area. Aimed to be transformative, the fund will prioritise investment in 4 distinct target areas: community development, promoting the visitor economy, business support, and to boost the attractiveness of the area. This, alongside the neighbourhood funding, gives us some real opportunity to exercise further change in our area. None of this would have been possible without a true partnership approach, and below on the slide you can see those partners that have been involved. But I'd particularly like to thank our board members who give their time and expertise freely, and the East Lindsey officers for all their hard work that has enabled us to be one of the most successful town funds in the country. Hopefully you're as excited as I am about what's happening in 2025 and the future, and if you'd like to keep in touch with what's happening and give us feedback, please look at the slide that will follow that will give you all the detail, or go through the Connected Coast website.